Let's start with the nation. Workers to get better deal, Tinubu assures NLC and TUC. Civil societies to UFCC shun politics. Petrol scarcity persists as motorists groan. Obi's campaign DG jailed 2 years for money laundering. How we stop vote buying by Inspector General and INEC. Bandits kill 28 in southern Kaduna. Okay, which story are we starting with? Please.
So, standard flag bearer for APC, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, yesterday met with organized labor at the Chida Hotel Conference Center for a town hall meeting. And while the session was really about dissecting, the plan, the Tinubu Shettima Action Plan for Better Nigeria. And he says that in his speech to them, he said that his administration will make fiscal and monetary policies to work for workers, and also urging that the organized labor should pitch their tent with him. He says he has a track record of good governance. There's something he says here that I found quite interesting. He said that he compared himself with, his contenders. He says that he has a track record of making Lagos, the state that it is, one of the biggest economies in Africa. And he talked about and compared, he said his track record compared to someone who was just vice president, or compared to someone who, instead of investing the state's resources, in their infrastructure, buried it in the sand. And so he said that they should look through the track records, and he stands out, compared to his contenders.
All right, let's take a few more stories.
Okay, so the DG of this campaign, Dr. Doyin Okupe, yesterday was convicted of money laundering, of deals that breached the Money Laundering Act. So he had a 59 counts charge, under which he was charged to court, but the court found him guilty of only 26 of the 59, which bordered around money laundering, in which he received money in excess of 5 million on each transaction from the office of the NSA under Colonel Sambo Dasuki at the time. But she found him not guilty of all other counts that, bordered around
corruption.
Corruption as well. This is also corruption, money laundering, criminal breach of trust, and corruption and all of that, because this EFCC was unable to sustain the charge. They did not have enough evidence to sustain that charge. And then the court gave him an option of fine, 500,000 naira per charge that he was found guilty of, which totaled about 13 million, which he paid. Some people are now arguing that he's not a convict because he was able to pay the fine. The payment of fine does not absorb a person of being a convict. What he was only able to escape is being a prisoner. So he never went to jail for this.
And there was a show at I watched it when they wanted to take him. And the lawyer said, he has till 4:30, leave him. He has till 4:30.
I love that his wife, I love his wife and son. I love his wife's speech. At least somebody believes in him and stood by him even in...
Fantastic. So petrol scarcity persists as motorists grow. So I took that story. We've been going back and forth on what the cause is and everything. Right now, Ipman is insisting that this will continue if NNPCL don't do two things. One of which are the two are there must be equity in the allocation. So when they bring it in, they must ensure that all the marketers get it equitably, and also urge them to improve the PMS on importation. I'm not sure what that means when you say improve importation, but obviously NNPC is the one bringing the crude from abroad, and then is then handed over or sold or distributed to the various marketers and for the mothership to the daughtership. We thought initially it was because of the cost of getting it, but now Eichmann is saying that much more issues, but there's no equity in the allocation. So they're also asking that NNPC must ensure equity for them to have, so that the scarcity that we have, that is persisting right now, can stop as soon as possible. If you recall, NNPC is still insisting that they are pegging the cost of petrol at 165, which is, they are insisting that it's not achievable. It has to be at least 200 and something, at 210,000 naira to the liter.
I'm just surprised because, they have been issuing all kinds of threats to the marketers.
Yes.
Me, I don't mind. But if you're going to issue threats, make sure that you are powerful enough to implement these threats. Don't just be posting us.
Let's move on to the Punch quickly. Rising attacks, vote buying, threatened polls. INEC cries out. My husband confessed to oral sex with my niece, doctor's wife. Federal government plans 2.4 billion naira rehab centers for repentant motorists. Protests as Lagos policemen enforcing ban, kill motorcyclists. Court stops the Emefiele's arrest, groups back CBN governor. Naira redesign will affect poor Nigerians, says World Bank. FG begins 11 power projects, plans 3,750 megawatts generation. And Air Force battles Zamfara terrorists, 50 bandits, soldiers killed. Okay, what's the human interest? Okay. You have the human interest story?
Nima has the human interest story.
Oh, okay. You go with the Emefiele story first.
Okay. So a federal high court in Abuja has stopped the Department of State Services from arresting the governor of Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele, over allegations bordering on financing terrorism and fraudulent activities. So our CBN
so excited over this.
How do you like this?
Has been accused, no.
Thank you. Why do you like this?
Fraudulent activities and terrorist acts.
It's not yet proven.
So, I say it's inside court. It's not me. It's inside the paper that I'm even reading it. Verbatim. Verbatim. Yeah. So, but the court refused to grant SSS, the DSS, the request, saying that in light of the foregoing reasons, I decline to grant this application ex parte if the applicant believes that the evidence available to it is sufficient. Then go and arrest the person. Why are you bringing it to me? You bring it to me. And, well, as we all know, or at least Morayo knows, that a protest group came out yesterday to say that this is not fair, that this is untrue, that they are the ones that they have things to hide. That is why they are accusing the central bank because of this money. Wow. This money thing that he has.
Yeah, the change of money and the limitations.
The limitations is them that are the ones doing the.
Okay.
And they even actually called for the sack of the DSS Oga.
It's a serious charge.
Yeah, let's go on a break. When we come back, we continue with our review.
It's heavy, it is. But we are just taking it like
and this is what we'll be asking for.
Thanks for staying with us. We are still reviewing Punch. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes. Okay, Naira redesign. So the World Bank is saying that the newly redesigned Naira has gone into circulation may have negative effect on our economic activity, and it would especially affect those who are economically vulnerable, like the poor in our communities. They say especially small businesses and those who do day-to-day cash. They said that it is commendable, the cashless policy that we're trying to run, and it shows that it's time for the redesign of the Naira, because this is what's done internationally. And we have taken almost 2 decades before this redesign, but that the timing and the execution is just not right. They said that there's so many things that Nigerians are facing right now, and so this added pressure to Nigerians. It says that we have high inflation compounded by external food and fuel price shocks, and then the severe floods that we faced just a few months ago, and then to add this on top of everything is just too much for Nigerians. And yeah, that was just the opinion. I agree as well. I feel that maybe there has to be a way that would do this. And we also talked about awareness. There are so many Nigerians who obviously are not aware that there's.
Did you see that video of that woman rejecting the money? And have you seen the money? I saw the money, and I mean, it looks like washed up old.
Copy of the
Also,
the fake counterfeit video was trending, and it's so annoying.
Yeah, we saw that too.
Because the security features in the new notes is not so far from the old notes, so it's easy to start messing with it. But I have the story of Dr. Olufemi Olaleye, the owner of the Optimal Cancer Care Foundation. And yesterday, his wife, Mrs. Aderemi Olaleye, entered the witness box against a case where he's being prosecuted, and she narrated how a 15-year-old niece was abused by the doctor. He started by grooming her from 2020 she moved in with them 2019 after her guardian died. And by 2020 March, he had started to groom her, introduce her to pornography. oral sex, as well as eventually having defiling her and having committing sexual assault against her by penetration. And she gave gory details of, including of how she was drugged, sedated by the doctor every evening, because most times when it happened, she would sleep off. She would not have details. She would wake up and she would not know something of such had happened. And that the driver at one point also had witnessed the girl vomiting sperm. And it was post such of it that she never found out. But at one time when the maid in the house complained of the girl's rudeness, she beat the girl. The video of that was played in court yesterday. She gave details that after the beating, the doctor was upset about it. He moved the girl to her auntie's house. And at that point, the girl opened up about everything that had happened in that house. And, so the court adjourned till till next year. December 21 to continue trial. So
This is serious.
I'm happy the trial has started, which is at least hopefully justice will be served. Moving on now to Daily Sun. Police tighten news on vote buyers. Ohaneze alleges incitement of North against Igbo. PDP crisis will soon be over, says Otom. Which story? Who has the major headline?
Police to deploy X-squad intelligence officers, investigators to arrest vote buyers. So the Nigerian police is saying that they're going to make sure that vote buying and vote buyers are apprehended during this period. That you're making sure that they're going to work with their sister agencies to protect our votes. They said that they'll do everything to make sure that this is minimized to the barest minimum. They said also they will be on the road to watch out for politicians that may be driving around with cash in their car during those periods, because that is, that's how they pay, that's what they use to pay for the vote buying. So it's good that they're having these conversations. They seem to know exactly what the style is, and they're going to put people on ground to protect our votes. And yes, we'll see how this goes.
Okay, I've been monitoring. You have a story,
Go on.
I've been monitoring the PDP crisis. So, Governor Otom of Benue State was assuring members of the PDP stakeholders in Benue State that the lingering crisis will soon be over, according to him, though there are issues still confronting the party at the national level. But he's happy that the state levels are stronger and together and they're united towards the general elections. He explained that the stakeholders meeting was to ensure that the party strategizes in preparation for the coming elections. He also talked about the Speaker of the House of Assembly, which is Mr. Titus Oba, who has been ill for some time, and he's saying that the man will be back, that he's been recuperating very well, and he'll be back in high spirits, and hopefully after the holidays he'll be back in the country. So this is an interesting feedback or an interesting insight, because the crisis within the PDP has lingered for too long, and for the Benue State Governor, who is one of the G5, who have been pioneering this issue, this division they've had for a while, is assuring his members that the lingering crisis will be over, and that's good news for members of the PDP.
So the Ohaneze Indigbo have accused some unnamed politicians and their agents of trying to instigate the North against the Igbo. And they're accusing them. Some Northerners had said there were 100 Northerners were killed in Southeast in 1 week, last week, in the last 1 week, sorry. And this was from the coordinator of the Northern Consensus Forum, Dr. Awal Abdullahi Aliyu. And he says the Ohaneze is a lie from the pit of hell. That's, he says they have accused the IPOB and that this is not true. And they have also declared a 3-day warning strike due to the constant killing of Northerners in the Southeast. Anyways, what they're trying to say is they're trying to just cause division. And this is not true.
Vanguard quickly, governors out to ruin 2023 polls by choking opposition, says IPAC. Court rejects DSS bid to arrest and detain Emefiele. Diversification, progressive governors canvass legislative framework. Maritime workers threaten to shut nation's ports. Marketers seek subsidy on diesel to lower petrol price. Yuletide, Greater Lagos Fiesta to entertain Lagosians, says government. Alleged killing of 100 northerners in southeast is live on the pit of hell, says Ohaneze and Digbo. Bandits killed 28 in Kaduna, security personnel. Terrorists killed in Zamfara ambush. Okay, which story are we starting with?
Okay, so let me take maritime workers. So, according to the union, the Maritime Workers Union of Nigeria, MWUN, the National Executive Council yesterday, the President General spoke, Prince Adeyoju Adewale, talked about a subtle threat, asking the federal government to compel international oil companies in Nigeria to allow dock workers into their companies. He said that there's a marine notice 106 of 2014 that they must allow stevedoring companies to deploy dock workers into their platform to avoid arrest. They said that, and stevedoring work includes dock labor, employers, private operators of any work location, including ports, jetties, onshore and offshore oil and gas or bonded terminals, inland container depots, and off-dock terminal, dry ports, and platform. And they said that this companies does not exempt the international oil companies, and they must also conform with the law, or else they might, prevent port operations from going smoothly.
Yes.
I hope that they quickly attend to it because, these are the core of our economy.
Yeah. Bandits and several terrorists and sadly some Nigerian army personnel have been feared killed following an ambush by armed terrorists in Zamfara on Sunday. They said the incident happened when our army received a distress call from the village in Malele in Zamfara state. They said that many of the bandits were coming in from different camps from Zamfara, Katsina, Niger, and Kaduna states. And then when they got into their communities, they sent a distress call. The military stormed the villages, and they said their presence really helped in causing the bandits to flee. Unfortunately, they also set 3 of the trucks, the military trucks, on fire. But there's no official statement from government yet concerning the attack. This is based on eyewitness accounts.
And in the same story, there was the Plateau woman. I thought that we should take that story because she was kidnapped. She was on her way to, I think, Makurdi, and she was asleep when the bandits stopped the car. And they took all their phones, all of them in the bus, and 4 of them they told to get down and walk with them. And they walked for miles in the forest. And she kept saying to her, she was the only woman, she kept saying to that there are only 4, because there were 9 kidnappers. 4 fell by the wayside. I mean, 5 fell by the way, stopped and maybe went somewhere else, and they continued. So anyway, she fought them. She received injuries because she jumped on the one with the guns. Then the other kidnappers helped. Anyway, they rescued them in the end. It was. I would love to have expanded on the story, but we have no time.